Not about body. Right, let me write. Hi, everybody. Hi. I think I did it. We're live. Oh, here come the mighty companions. Look at all of these friends. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Everybody say hi. This is Stephanie.
Hi.
This is Stephanie recording. Hi, Justin.
Blessings outside. That's a good sign.
Always got to get that sunshine.
Who's got it on? It's always my thing. Somebody's got it on. Guys, if you can just make sure that you mute yourself. Hi, Alan. I love that you keep waking up in the middle of the night. It's got it on. Somebody's got it on.
Coming from you, Marie.
I think this might be an indication that I need to take a vacation. I don't know. Was it mine? We need a vacation. Let me just show you what's happening outside, because that'll be a fun change of scenery. Let me just show you what's happening outside our house right now. Hold on. Take this computer out. Here we go. This is what's happening. Say hi, guys. Hi. Let me see if I can put this. Can you guys see them?
Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out.
That's okay.
Let's see.
Oh, sorry, they're naked babies. My bad. Hi. But they're so cute, aren't they? All the kids. Hi, Ruby. Say hi. Joe's going to come up in a second here. Joe, say hi. Claudia. Amber's not in there. Justin's in there. You know him. Aaron. They'll come say hi in a second. I just wanted to show you, kind of what's happening in this present moment. All right. A few seconds ago, we couldn't even find my computer. So it's been a little bit of a hectic morning for us here. So I'm super ready to start with a meditation. Can we just do that? Let's just do that. And then I'll tell you guys a little story. And then Stephanie will share some cool stuff. And we will just kind of go with the flow. All right? So if I could invite you to take a big exhale through your mouth, just kind of big exhale. I don't think that everybody sees that.
Well, it's the same.
All right, guys. So I'm working on a new computer today. It's just what's happening. All right. Big exhales through your mouth, settling in. If it feels comfortable for you to close your eyes, go ahead and do so. And settling into present moment, feeling your feet on the ground. Stay with it, guys. I'm just going to close the doors. Just taking a few moments to ask for guidance from the divine. Asking for clarity. If you can bring your awareness to the sound of your breath, so breathing in through your nose, creating a sound in the back of your throat, and then breathing out through your nose as well. Taking a few deep Ujjayi breaths, victorious breathing. The more you breathe, the quieter the mind gets. And creating that sound in the back of your throat, so, hum. As you breathe in, you hear the sound so. Out is hum. And in Sanskrit, soham is I am my breath. Take a few more moments here.
Please open the door, guys.
Right, guys. And slowly bringing your hands to your heart, asking that you remember this moment, this peaceful moment, and that it extend throughout the rest of your day. Namaste. Namaste. Quick and simple today. It just seems like life is getting, I don't want to say crazy, because when someone says crazy, for me, that kind of means wise. Like, you're so crazy means like, oh, you're so wise, you're so advanced, you're so, in front of things. But things seem to be getting a little bit crazy simply because we're having so much fun. We're having so much fun. We
So much
really
fun.
are. We're having so much fun. And I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit of that energy, and I know Stephanie will too, of what it feels like to be together with people that are really resonating at the same level and that are really doing this work and being, oh yes, oh, and Stephanie knows Laura. Hi, Laura.
Laura, hi. Oh my gosh. It's my
That's-
friend from Michigan. Same place.
That's so fun. We hope you come and play with us at some point too. What we're realizing is it doesn't really matter so much where we are, it's just that we're together. And it does help that we're in a really magical and beautiful place, because, it's been said, I think, to all of us at one point or another that, maybe we're not accepting other points of view, or maybe we're not as loving as we could be. But I think we talked about this last week. What's really happening is we're becoming more discerning with our energy, and we're becoming more cautious of where we expend it. And we're doing that because we realize how blessed and beautiful our energy is when it's connected to the divine in this way. And what's happening with all of us through our focus on the diet is that it's shifting us energetically. And so we're feeling things a lot more. Anybody else in this boat? Like, you feel like we've had, even with the kids, like if there's like an outbreak, or like all the parents be like, okay, here we go. It's there's so many more feelings that we're raw to now. Whereas before, maybe we just shoved them down, or we didn't notice them as much, or it was just normal. Now it feels like everything is up for grabs and everything's on the surface. And so being with our family in person and online tends to be these moments where we get infused with the remembering that we're on track. We're on track, and it's a beautiful thing. Miracles are occurring. I'm so glad you're here, Sarah, because yesterday we had some really beautiful waterfall energy Friday and Sunday, like pure magic. Yeah, magic. And I wanted to just share a little story, and then I'll pass it over. But Sarah, yesterday we were in a really raw land, like really raw. It took us almost 3 hours to get there, and so we were deep out of the matrix, and the mountains were just extraordinary, palm trees, and it was just so beautiful. But at one point, the dads left with the group that was with us to kind of go and check out some flat areas where we could build. And so as the dads left us, mind you, it's like a bazillion degrees. And we have, how many kids with us? There's 4 kids and me and Stephanie. And we're kind of parked. It's a situation. But we were like totally going with it. It's all good. We had tons of fruit. So just kept feeding the kids, just like stop any complaining about it's hot or what are we doing here or can we go? So it ended up being nearly an hour, but I had this moment where I was standing and there was a dragonfly. And I thought of us. I thought of Laura, because that was my promise to you. Like, I got the chills that anytime I saw a dragonfly, I would remember your beautiful son. So I saw this dragonfly and I was just observing it. It's kind of like hovering, and then it kind of was like playing in the tree, and then it kind of came out and was watching, and I was feeling us. I was feeling the potential of us, of our capacity to feel this much love for each other, and how much we've removed our fears of loving each other. And I talked about this too last week, that, unity consciousness, the way it at least is making sense to me in this present moment, is that we're like-minded enough to the place where we can be in our heart. And we're not in defense, and we don't feel attacked. And there's a freedom that happens when we're in that consciousness, in that field of resonance, because we're just kind of like our best selves.
Well, and and something that came to me when you were talking about that is even before that is the way you feel when you're with people that are like-minded, is like you're not constantly like putting a cap on your heart, like, oh, I can't say that, or you're judging what they're doing because they're just so in such a different world, and that's why it was like when I saw my friend Laura, I was like, oh my gosh, like our people, like we can just be ourselves, like we can just be real and raw, and we don't have all those things, so then we can come to love. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's amazing.
It's a real freedom. And, in the yoga industry and business and whatever, we call it mind, body, breath connection, right? But it's a facade in so many ways, because I don't think we're really taking care of our hearts. And that's what we're learning how to do right now, because we've removed so many of those barriers that our hearts are more exposed. And so we've got to be more cautious for sure. But there's this joy that I felt about us. And I've said this to you guys before, how much I love us. And people can say whatever they say about, oh, you've never even met these people and you're talking so freely and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, because we've passed through portals together, literally so many. You guys, we've been holding hands energetically. It might seem like, you're in the Netherlands and I'm over here in Mexico and you're over wherever you are. It's not true. We're one. We're going through this together. We're holding hands together. And it feels really, really beautiful. I'm getting chills again.
Marie, this is really beautiful.
It feels, it feels amazing. And we've had so many moments, me and Stephanie, where we have literally been laughing. Like, I was like, we were sitting watching this beautiful sunset and the waves were crashing. And we were sitting in hammocks and the dudes were over there and we had a babysitter. So it was like, we could have a whole entire conversation without an interruption of any sort. It was like really mind blowing. And so we were sitting in these hammocks and I looked at her and I was like, could you imagine if I was just like chomping on a burger right now? Like, how would that conversation go now? Like, what would that feel like for you? Like, could we be this relationship? Can I tell them? She goes, what would it be like if I just showed up at your house, like totally wasted, like loaded on alcohol and like tripping over myself? And it was like, you think of who we used to be, and we're laughing at it now. It's like, wow, I used to be this person where I thought, like, to connect with someone, like, what did we drink? We drank a bunch of orange juice. We watched the sunset. We came home and we laughed.
It was amazing. It was like the best night out ever, because you didn't eat that big meal and you're feeling all like, and then you're drinking the wine so you get tired. Like, it's much better when you're just doing juice and water and the ocean.
And the ocean. And the ocean is so beautiful. And seeing the majesty of Mother Earth this weekend really, really humbled me in a way of like realizing just how blessed we are. And Stephanie, you said this to me, sorry, there's a little bit of craziness happening. That's a whole other story I might share with you next week when I'm a little bit more grounded and all of it. Understand what's actually happening, because there's so much movement. And I think that's too what happens again when we're together. We're inspiring each other to be greater, to be better than we think we are, to rise. And that's what, the ascension is about. And that's what Christ's resurrection is about. It's about rising. It's about, hey, look, I did this for you because I love you. And guess what? If you love me, you'll do it too. And it's not like conditional. It's not like, if you don't, you're going to suffer. It's just like, do it because I showed you how. And that's what I feel is happening in such a big way for so many of us. We're like, okay, I've got to learn how to take this personal. And we talked about this too. Like, I've got to not only take this personal, I have to keep my eye on the ball, like big time. Especially, you know, if you're still in an environment where there's, you know, other people that might not share the same level of sentiment and like degree of what's happening in this moment. Like there's this is like really big stuff that's happening. And Stephanie said to me, do you know how blessed we are? She was like, we know what's going on. Like, isn't this so amazing? And I'm like, yeah, because sometimes I'm like, no, it's not. It's terrible. Everybody hates me. Like, nobody wants to talk to me anymore unless I'm in a rectangle and, you know, all of that. But then we have these moments again where the dragonfly shows up, Sarah. And I remember like your trust in us, like your capacity to share something so tender for you, an experience that was so life-changing and so ginormous, and you trusted us with it. And it didn't matter that we were online and we were open to ridicule and whatever, because what mattered was the love. That's all that's real in this entire thing. All of the relationships that are going away, I'm going to keep all of the love, because that's mine. That's my inheritance. I get to keep the love. Everything else I get to learn how to detach from, because that's what's keeping me dense and dead. And this is about resurrection. It's like, well, no, I'm going to keep the love. I'm just going to keep going. I think Aaron said it recently too. Like, you know, don't look back, like Lot's wife. That's what happens. You turn to salt. Keep going forward. And it's like, you said this to me too, like friends that are gone and then new ones come. And that's okay. Like, that's the blessing. And the friends that are showing up right now, like if Stephanie and Joe are my friends for the next year and we raise our kids together and whatever, even for 3 months or however long this thing lasts, I'm going to be so grateful.
Yeah, same.
For
right?
you, for showing up
Yeah.
in a moment that was really intense, like in a moment in time where like their daughter drinks coconuts and eats avocados. She's 2.
Yeah. That's like all she wants.
That's pretty much all she wants. And they're doing it. They're not afraid. They're not afraid she's not getting nutrition. You know, she's just doing it. And it's the same with our kids. And we're trying, and, you know, we were talking so much about how it's still hard to have to say no. No, you can't have that, you know, or no, that's not good for you. And what we're really working towards is really getting off the grid in a way where it's easy. And that's what I felt. I mean, we've had some hard moments, but it's been really easy to trust that we can be this exposed. You know, we can be this open, and this is the new normal. This is how it's going to be, guys. We're just going to share. We're just going to be who we are. And we're going to trust that we're resonating in a frequency where we're safe to do that. And that's really my message today, was just like, trust the frequency. It's beautiful. I feel so grateful. I know a lot of you, I get lots of messages. I know there's a lot of struggling still. And I feel you. I know it too. I have these just real sad moments when I think of all of the people that, you know, all of it. And I'm keeping the love. And that's what I'm encouraging you guys to do. Just keep the love. Just moments when it was pure and it was true, and let everything else work itself out, because that's the waterfall. It's going to wash it away. We don't have to do that. We just need to give it to God and trust that this process is cleansing and purifying. And how grateful we are that we're in the know about it. You have information around how to take care of your body and your soul in a way that maybe 6 months ago or a year you didn't. If that's how it was for me, I didn't know. Now that I know, I'm like a little bit blown away. I'm super, super grateful. I can see the benefits, and we just keep putting one foot in front of the other, trusting this beautiful plan. All right.
And for me, it's like, you know, I think, you know, talking about the waterfall that we saw, you know, it's about getting in front of like God and having him around you and his nature, and like go outside, like get outside, like spend some time with nature. It's like, Justin, you're obviously with the trees right now. Like, that's beautiful. Like, get by some trees. Like, that's so huge. And once you try to like pay attention to being outside in nature and you're eating fruits, like you just feel it. And then you notice, we saw like I think they're from the most family, this tree where if you just take in this along its leaves, like it closes up. And it's like, the kids were like, it was amazing. I'm like, you guys, look what he gave us. Like God gave us like all of this amazing stuff. Like, and it's to heal us. Everything that is put on is for us.
Yeah.
Whether it's our entertainment, just to look at the beauty, or, you know, it's like, I don't know.
We're
It's
so
beautiful.
loved. And you know what else you said, Stephanie, that I wanted to share? It was about this healing journey that so many of us are on in terms of our diets and healing our physical body and detox and all that, was that it's a demonstration that God loves us so much because our body regenerates. Like, forgiveness is real. It's okay you messed up, but don't worry. If you start doing it right, it'll regenerate itself. You don't have to be afraid of it. You just have to trust that that's the nature of us as an extension of God. Like you said that, I think it was like crying.
Yeah, I was like, you guys, we have a second chance. Like,
Yeah.
that's how amazing God is. He gives us a second chance. And he grew all the precious fruits for us to have that. You know, that's amazing. And we know that. And we've been blocked from the matrix in so many avenues to stay away from the precious fruit.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. Like, to keep us away from God's creation. Like, think about all the gross stuff out there that's we're all brainwashed by, you know, but like having God and having that second chance, like,
it's beautiful. And it does feel, someone said recently, I think it was Barbara, she's like, she's turning 50 and she feels like she's new, like she's a baby. And I felt that yesterday when this beautiful Mexican lady handed me this piece of fruit. It's called, oh gosh, what's it called? Guayabas. Guayabas? Has anyone ever had a guayaba? I think that's what it is. It's white. Like, so it's green and spiky on the outside, but when you open it up, it looks like the flesh of a fish. Okay? It's like layered like a piece of whitefish, if anybody ever ate that in a past life. But like, it was so sweet. And she hands it to me and she says, this is great for cancer. I went, thank you. Huh? We just eat it as much as it was so delicious. The kids even, some of them liked it. One of them wasn't that sweet. So, but just like, I was new. I had no idea that fruit even existed. It's really incredible how it grows off the tree. And there's just so many things we're going to learn in this new reality that we're all creating together. And I stay focused, stay the course, guys. We're doing great. We really are, because we're sharing and we're trusting that this is real. Love is real. And we're safe to do that. Maybe not everywhere and with everyone right now. And that's something we're learning how to discern. Learning how to be really, magnetic around our energy, really clear on our boundaries. And as we learn, just remember, like, we learn through contrast. So that's what I'm reminding myself of. Like, I have to see sometimes really the extent of what I don't want to then choose what I do want. But I do think as we get better and better at this, that contrast won't need to be as deep. And that's what we're experiencing, in a world way right now. We had to see what we didn't want in a really big way so that we could start to choose what we really do want and to keep our eye on the ball and do the work, Oh, I want it, but I'm just going to have pizza. Because it's just easier. I can't deal. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I know too, all about that. So super grateful to be having these experiences with our family here in person. I feel really grateful. That's what I wanted to share. Grateful at the beauty of our incredible mother. The air out there was just like, I was trying to share in our Telegram group some of the videos and it wasn't working, but I will figure it out today. And then I lost my phone all weekend, which is another really great sign. And I would totally recommend it. You guys, like, all of the relationships, like all of the people, even the ones that you love, like, we love them all, but just like, let it all rest. Like, really rest. That felt amazing for me. And I still haven't checked my WhatsApp. I'm a little scared. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, I'm just going to leave it be, I think, a little bit longer and just, because that's the blessing, you guys. We don't have to have all this pain, all this suffering, and all this like anxiety. No, we can really just be. We must actually. That's the message. Just be. Let God do the work.
Yeah, let go, let God. That's what we were talking about on the hammocks too. Let go, let God. Like, there's so many things that you just want to control, and it's like once you can just try to control everything, I feel like He's like, no, that's not going to work. Like, you got to let go, let go of stuff. Be much lighter. Like Danny was talking about traveling light.
Yeah.
Like travel light. Like that was really inspirational to me because Danny's just like travel light. And then I was like, and that meant so much to me. And it probably means so much, something different to each and every one of you is like to travel light. Like, what does that mean to you? Like, I thought of like stuff, like just bags of stuff. And like, that just keeps us down too, you know? So it's like travel light.
We're getting light. It's really big. Like someone said to me, you know, well, $15 check bounce. And I go, yeah, we're moving everything out. We're stepping out. Like we close bank accounts. Like we're doing the things that are intense sometimes because we're learning how to travel light. We're traveling light on the earth. We're getting out of the world. And it is, wow, it's immense. I love that word, Aaron. Thank you for that. I'm totally taking it. And thank you to Sarah, and thank you for all of you for showing up to these conversations where our intention is just to be raw and open and loving and to know that that's normal. That's real. Okay. Anybody want to jump in and share anything? I'm super happy to see you guys. Laura, do you want to say anything? We're happy to have you. You can also just like hang if you want. Your call.
I would love to talk. Can you guys hear me okay?
Go for it.
Can you hear me? Okay, cool. So I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I've been on the other end of all these for so many sessions, and I'm just so happy to be here and share this space with you guys. I'm almost gonna cry. This is so beautiful. So Stephanie, when you said let go, let God, oh my goodness, I just texted that today to my new dear soul sister. So I've got a fun little story to share. So Peggy, she's been on a few of Justin's Telegram calls, and she's always here in our family. So, and I knew she was in Michigan. So a few weeks ago now, we started connecting on there and talking, you know, my little pen pal, and she's just a beautiful soul. And so pretty last minute, my husband decided to have me bring my daughter to a soccer tournament this past weekend. He was going to bring her, but it just turned out that it didn't work out. So I took her, and I knew that it was going to be near to where Peggy said she lived. So I was like, okay, let's reach out and see if there's a chance that we could connect, you know. So I felt like it was meant to be. And so I messaged with her, and she was available. So when we were about an hour from her, she texted me her address. So my daughter and me ended up at her house, and she's got this beautiful, beautiful home with several acres, and she's got a pond and a beautiful creek out back. And we probably for over an hour just walked around as my daughter jumped on her trampoline, and we just talked, and it was just felt like I've known her for years, and it was just beautiful. And she ended up joining me on Sunday during my daughter's last game. They were in the championship game that day. They didn't win it, but it was a really great life lesson for her. But it was just so amazing to have Peggy there to just chat with. I mean, we just went with the flow so well, and we could tell we're soul sisters. And, you know, I just felt like I was just following my heart to connect with her. And it was beautiful. And I know that she'll have similar things to say about it, but it's just wild, Stephanie, that you said let go, let God. Because I was just texting with Peggy this morning about how beautiful it was that we connected, and how it was just such a special time that we had. And I said, you know, once you just kind of let go and let God, it's amazing what beautiful things you know, happen in your life. You know, I just felt like I was just following my heart.
I mean, I'd want to cry, Laura, because I like that the fact that you were able to connect with someone, because I know you can feel so alone at times because you know, don't have very many people around you. And I know, and you're just so full of knowledge and so beautiful. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I love you. That was beautiful.
Thank
Sorry. She was the sweetest.
I love you too. I feel like it's just so beautiful. When I heard you were going back there, I was so jealous, but I know that we're all where we need to be at this time. And, you know, my sleepy husband will wake up soon enough about this nonsense. So it's just nice to have wonderful people in this community to help help us through these really tough times, because we think things are going to start getting
Yeah.
a little wild in the world, a little wilder than they even are. And I think that's why we're placed all over the place, just to be lights and anchors and lighthouses. Was that what Justin says? Somebody's mentioned that. I think that's a beautiful analogy. I think that's why we're here, and we just gotta spread love and light. So thank you for having me, ladies.
Thank you. I'm glad you came. And I love that you hooked up with Peggy and you gave her a big hug, I'm sure, and we're mask free and like, woo, having a party and, like, hey, let's hug. Hey, do you want to share juice? Let's share germs. Like, let's just
Yeah.
But I love that. And I think that that's really, that's the infusion of energy that we can keep.
It was nice.
Yeah. And that we represent different brothers and sisters from different lineages and lifetimes in each other's lives. And I think that that's what we're also learning, how to detach from some of the constructs of how we thought it should be and who we thought was going to be in our life and what those relationships were supposed to look at. And when we let go and let God, sometimes it looks worse. It's like, well, wait, huh? I'm here, I was like, what is this mess? Like, but it's always for the best. I said this to Danny yesterday. I'm like, wait, next week I'll share some other cray stuff with you. But like, I said to Danny, I'm like, it always gets better, Danny. Like any big decision or anything like that's really like nasty over the last 10 years that's happened, on the other side of it is like bliss. Like we couldn't even, we knew it existed, we wanted it, we focused on it, and it just happened. We just kept our eyes on the ball. We kept trusting in the miracles and letting go of the form. Love changes form. That's what it does. Look at water. It takes the form of where it's going, It's like, that's what we're doing. We're just becoming so detached that we're like, wherever you'd have me go, I'll go. Whatever you'd have me say, I'll say. Whoever you want me to hang out with, I'll hang out with. You want me to do it this way? You want me to do it that way? You go. You just do those things because And the biggest part that I think all of us have learned through this journey is how to trust ourselves. Mm-hmm. We really haven't. I know for myself, like I'm still deeper levels of trusting myself. And I'm going to give you this hilarious. Do you guys remember that song by Whitney Houston, The Greatest Love of All? Okay, so for whatever reason, last night I was sitting in my meditation and I was like, the greatest, like just came to my head, love of all is happening inside of me. Like the lyrics of that song are pretty, you guys should decode that sometime, Justin. Maybe I'll ask Charlie to do it on Thursday on our show. But like, is to love yourself is the greatest love of all. Thank you, Whitney Houston. Maybe you're still around. Who knows? Justin wants to chime in. But yeah, that's what I've learned. Trust yourself. You're doing great.
Oh, I was just pointing to the greatest love of all is from the Father above. But it is through the self. We have to love ourselves in order to receive that love from above. So it has to start with the love of self, and then that opens us up like a portal to the love of God. It's perfect. That's all.
I wanted to add to that, like sometimes when you let go and let God, and sometimes you're like, whoa, this was not what I was like wanting, or this is crazier. But sometimes like he's bold. I mean, God is a bold God. So sometimes we have to be shook, like literally shook by a situation for us to like take it as a sign and wake up and be like, oh, okay. Like, and because how many times has God like giving you signs that we're just not conscious to receive because we keep becoming more conscious. We don't get it. And sometimes you gotta be like, hey. And then you're like, and you go through something intense. And then you're like, holy shit, I just got so much stronger. I just learned this, and this. And like,
Totally. These guys came to save the day. Like, this is how God works. We're never alone.
Yeah.
It's really miraculous.
And when we have that clarity, Stephanie, that you mentioned, and we're more aware and we step into that place of the observer, then we're able to receive those signs from God without them getting to that extreme moment of needing to shake us. So that's why it's so vital to just listen and be present, because then those nudges can be really gentle. It can just be like, a blow of the wind or a whisper in your ear or those kind of loving, very easy things. But if we ignore them, then they start to pick up and they get more and more intense. They get bigger and bigger and bigger until it is that violent shaking, like, hey, pay attention, wake up, get out of your head. Like,
Wow, I love that. No, that's beautiful. What a way to have me look at that. That's amazing.
yeah, just be present. That's the only space that God resides. If we're present, then we're always in touch with God. If we're not present, if we're in our left brain, if we're thinking about the past or the future, if we're worrying or anxious or any of that, then we are outside of that space of God, and God can't reach us. I mean, he can, but like he doesn't go there, because that's our false illusory construct that we create with our left brain. So just stay present.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that it's God is also self-organizing. So like, even if we're playing in the false illusion, he keeps going with us. Like but he can't go, he's just gonna keep shining. Feel like, ooh, now and then. Like, great sense of humor. Like, there are some crazy ass looking bugs that we saw. Like, there's a sense of humor in this intelligent creation too, that I think a lot of us, I think that's what I've enjoyed too, just like busting out in laughter, just like, oh, how healing that is, just shake up the heart center and the whole body and all of that too. But yeah, it's really powerful stuff. It is about, I kept hearing Charlie all weekend, like, take no thought. I know Craig said it, but like, and then you guys have said it to me, and I've said it to you, and this is what we do for each other. We just keep saying it, so we keep strengthening that as real for us, because we have been really trained in a very different system here. Like, you got to strategize, you got to get, how are you going to do this and how are you going to do that? I don't know, I'm not thinking about it. It's gonna be fine. Well, and then you just see people that are in the matrix go a little cross-eyed, and you're like, yeah. Oh, there's Peggy. That's Peggy. Oh wow, we were just talking about you. Welcome to the circle. So I want to make sure that we get everybody else. Peggy, did you want to chime in here?
Yeah, because I was driving home from, hey Laura, sweetheart. Yeah, I had Zoom home for the Zoom call. I had just technical difficulties at a campground in Howell. So yeah, it was just amazing. And, Marie and Justin and Colleen and Charlie talk about community, and the sense of the community just hit home in Michigan. And I've talked about it several times and wanting to set up a Telegram, and I've reached out to a lot of people, and I have the list of names and everything. And I just really feel inspired, like it's going to happen in Michigan. And just being with Laura, and just every time I think about everything that happened and how it transpired, and just the feeling and the conversation, and just being whole and being in the moment with her. I mean, I just radiate with goosebumps, and it's just so amazing. And we just all have to make our communities happen around us. And just that was the inspiration that I received from that visit. And I am like, when I hug someone, I embrace them and I never want to let go. And Laura hugged me. I mean, I didn't even get out of my door frame, and we just were like right there together, and we didn't let go. And it was just so amazing. It was just such a wonderful, wonderful experience. And then when she told me that she knew Stephanie, and I was just like, my heart was just palpitating. I mean, it was amazing. It was just a wonderful, wonderful, amazing experience. And just to be in the light with someone that you can connect with, and you can just be so open and honest with. And yeah, it was great. It was just so phenomenal. So my inspiration is to get a Telegram page together for like Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, like Wisconsin, Upper Michigan, and to get that going. So I tried once before, but it just never happened. But now's the time. I mean, summertime in Michigan is beautiful. And, we were looking at our backyard, and we were talking about tents and campfire chats. And it's a beautiful area. And I've been working in my yard for a very long time, trying to clean it up, because it's just been so, not intentionally neglected, it just has been. So, and the energy that I have now because of being a frugivore is like amazing. Like I don't want to stop. I can't stop. I mean, it's just, I was really tired yesterday and I was like, okay, breathe, go in the house and eat about 12 oranges and come back out again. And I mean, I was up till like 10 p.m. just cleaning the inside after, working on the outside of the house, but just being a frugivore and the energy and the light and just, my husband said to me yesterday, are you ever going to stop getting tired of eating oranges? And I'm like, nope, never. Never. And then I put them in the compost pile. Well, you can't throw a sliver of orange. You have to cut them up. So I have to like sit there and chop them. And I just receive energy from chopping the peel of the orange. And I just put on my headphones and I just chop, 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 chop. And it's great. It's amazing. It's just amazing. So while there's a lot of people on today, so I know everyone's going to want to share. So I just thank you for sharing the space with me and being here. And it's a rain day in Michigan, so I'm going to paint for a couple of elderly friends that I know at the campground today. So, but yeah, so good to see everybody. Kathleen, oh goodness, I finally made it through the Q&A yesterday afternoon, and what an inspiration. Your voice just radiated with life, and your journey, we all felt your journey, and I am so excited for you.
I felt so manic and nervous. I was happy to listen the next day and not sound quite so crazy as I felt. So yeah.
No, yes, it was just an amazing testimony, and just thank you for sharing. And I know that you've touched and blessed and shared so many people's lives, and your testimony is just
if I can
beautiful.
touch anybody, that's fabulous.
Yeah,
and
your
resonate with you.
beautiful.
It's very funny. My son was allergic to dogs, and I'm like, every child should have a dog. We were dogless for a while, and because of his allergies, I mean, we are talking dial-up internet way back in the early 2000s. I found a woman in Wisconsin. I found the Schnoodle, which is I didn't know they were designer dogs. I just knew they were hyperallergenic and they were adorable. So I found like someone on a message board, and we actually took a leap of faith and went and got a puppy in Wisconsin. We drove from the Adirondack region of New York all the way to Wisconsin just to get this puppy, and came back, and it led to, there was a Schnoodle group on Yahoo, and this group of people have become my family. So I've been in training for having online families for 20 years. So these people are still in my life. We used to meet yearly for a few years. We would take our dogs. We would travel across the country. I've been to Wisconsin 6 times because my breeder became like my mother. I loved her. She died a few years ago of cancer, which breaks my heart, but she was like a mother to me. And it's crazy how this family, our Schnoodle family is insane. We've traveled all across the country and met each other, brought our dogs. They were called Schnoodle Paloozas. So I hosted one in 2004. Everything about it was magical. So I understand how, and it was funny to talk to these people, but it was really only the written word, but everyone that I met was exactly how they appeared in print. So it was so glorious to actually meet everybody in person. So I know exactly what you and Laura feel like. I'm just like, that is so magical. And I hope to meet the rest of you someday. My God, I hope so.
It was magical. And
Thank you for
I haven't
sharing
been around I haven't been around people in a very long time. So going to the soccer field and seeing all the children and the smiles and them running around, and then the smile that I received from her daughter, it's just like, oh, it was just beautiful. It was just so beautiful.
I was saying I'm complaining because my granddaughter, but I don't know how you people are raising children right now. Like mine are grown and I'm dealing with what they're dealing with, but I can't imagine in this world having to raise children. You guys are doing such an amazing job. I don't know if you listened to the Q&A, Marie, because I'm just like, that Ruby, she wanted a third eye and a tattoo. You go, girls. They are learning right. Mine grew up without, having that information. And
yeah,
I gotta give you credit too, because your governor is just as evil as mine, if not worse. Gretchen is some kind of piece of specialness. Oh my God, I can't wait for her to get what's coming to her. I know that's wrong, but
Yeah, I homeschooled. I homeschooled my daughters, and we were like non-conventional homeschoolers, and just raised them with really awesome life skills. They're extremely responsible. They're dependable. They're hard workers. And I really never. We just kind of like went with life, you know. And to be honest,
And that wise.
I really never taught them anything. We didn't talk about the globe, or we didn't talk about history. And I'm like so thankful that I didn't, because they would have to relearn everything.
Right.
And I don't know if I kind of wish they were younger, because now they're in their own mind and in their own frame and in their own life, that it's very difficult to open up their minds. I know that I just have to wait. And I love that you all talked about control earlier, because you can't control an issue, and you do have to let it go. And I still hold on to a little bit of like their judgment with me, and it causes me to like eat the wrong things, but not severely the wrong things. But I know that that's what's holding me, like that's why I do it when I do it, and I don't do it that often. It's just that emotion that's attached to letting go to them, and I just want them to know the truth. And so I'll just have to like let it go and just let God. And thank you, Laura.
The hardest
And
thing
it's
to
just
do.
I do, you know, I really, really do. And you know what, they'll get there on their time, and it's their decision, it's their own free will. I mean, they are smart, they'll make their own decision. My 21-year-old is not wearing a mask at the stores anymore, and she's getting hounded. And so that's really good that she's stepping up to that plate. And so anyways, but I'll let everyone go. Thank you for letting me share. It's great to see everybody. And
Peggy.
That's the whole Michigan thing, Peggy. That's beautiful that you're, gonna do the campfires and stuff like that. Send me an invite. There is other people in my area that are, they're not necessarily all to the food floor yet, but definitely awake and open and stuff. And I'm going to go up and host something at my home as well, so we can get the energy together and help you grow that too, you guys. Okay.
that sounds perfect.
And you guys know I'm from Ohio, right? I'm from Ohio.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, you had shared that with me once before. So, so we'll coordinate, and things will happen in Michigan for the Freak Sense Justin Marie family group. I mean, I just know it's going to happen now, and I am so elated, and I am so excited. And it's just, so encouraging others out there and around, to reach out to.
Can I ask where you found the list of the people in your area? I know, so sorry, my dog. I know Justin posted a list or a map. I could never find it. Where is it, Justin? Yankee.
Yeah, if you want to message me or just post on, are you in the JC family Telegram group?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, yes, I'm in your Telegram. Yes.
Okay, so just send a message there and I can repost it, or someone else can direct you to it. Just ask for where the list is. It's got a form to fill out, and that form pushes to a spreadsheet. So it's just an easy way to see whoever wants to share, and it just asks, where the closest major city is to you. So people have an idea, where geographically people are.
See, that's the problem. Everybody thinks I'm in the Adirondacks of New York. Everybody thinks I live in the city, which no.
Yeah, so you just put the closest major city, and that gives people an idea where you are, and yeah, it's a great way to just start reaching out to people, and then from that you can message people directly on Telegram, like what Peggy's doing, create a separate group, which I think is a fantastic idea. But it just helps to create these, because that's what we're here for. And honestly, the number one conspiracy of them all is to try and keep us disconnected, keep us disconnected from ourselves, keep us disconnected from each other, keep us disconnected from God. So everything boils down to this disconnection. And if we can find ways to get connected, then we are going in the opposite direction. We're going back towards our higher self, connecting to ourselves, connecting to each other, and ultimately connecting to God. And that's what we're here to do.
Okay, great. I'll message you later.
Great.
Nice to meet you, Catherine.
Oh, it's nice to meet you, Marie. as I was talking about your daughter and you weren't even with your computer all weekend, thank God.
I just needed a break. But I'm excited to be back in the mix. And yeah, and Peggy, how wonderful. You know, my grandmother's name was Peggy. And, you know, if I think of the one person in my life, honestly, that always loved me, no matter what I said, no matter what I did, it was Peggy. She passed away a few years ago. So I'm happy to have another Peggy back in the mix.
Oh gosh,
And
Laura.
that you went home. That you went home from the campground to go and do a Zoom. That's amazing.
I did. I had to be here because Laura and I talked about it, and I'm like, nope, it's only 35 minutes away. I'm heading back. So, yeah. So Laura's mother-in-law, Laura, tell. On mute.
Oh no, she's yeah. My mother-in-law's name is Peggy too.
Oh wow.
So.
Aww.
And Peggy is not a common name.
It's a very special name. Like I said, I love my grandmother so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love you all. I want to see who else. We have a lot of new peeps here too. If anybody wants to chime in, and I'm really digging this just laissez-faire type of a conversation today. I'm just kind of like chilling. And hanging out by the pool. Anybody want to chime in? You're more than welcome. Watch the screen. Nobody?
I'll chime in.
Sarah, go for it.
Can you hear me all right? Okay, excellent. I just wanted to say I listened to the Q&A as well and heard Kathleen's very potent sharing. And at one point, I think I felt that maybe you, Kathleen, were being apologetic for your passion or whatever. And I just, one thing about this group is I think it's so amazing how we are encouraging each other to feel free with our passion, because a lot of times we have this energy coming up and up and up, and then it just gets choked right here. And you had mentioned that last Monday, you were, you came on Miraculous Monday and wanted to share, but didn't. And then you had to wait till Friday, and then you just really let her rip. And yeah, I just congratulate you for letting her rip, because you did inspire a lot of people. You just, even if I didn't even listen to the words you said, the vibration of what you were letting go inspired and moved me. So it's all beautiful. And I know sometimes when Charlie speaks, he goes into these crazy wild rants, and I love it. Like I'm in my house and I'll jump around and start squealing myself, because it's so inspiring to be around people who are free with their passion. And I've noticed that sometimes when I share things on social media with people around here, and I'm in Nova Scotia, there's an immediate shutdown. If there's any sort of somebody get excited about something or passion, it's like almost people go, ah, and they close down completely. And so I realize a lot of times here in this community, with most of the people I might meet on the street, I do feel extremely guarded, and I can feel it in my body. And so I have found one friend here. We get together and we can share freely, like we're all sharing today. And we go in nature a lot, and we do feel completely safe to share deeply, and to cry together, and to laugh together and be silly. And it is so important. And so even if you don't find that one person, do it with yourself. You know, you have to take care. And I remember one friend talking to me way back about the meridians in our body, the Chinese meridians for anger and passion are the same. So oftentimes, this is why people get so afraid of passionate expression, is because it's because it connected with anger and some sort of trauma related to how they were treated with regards to a parent or somebody being angry or directing anger towards them. So just understanding that too is helpful. And but I just think it's so important to find places to play with passion and just to really let go. And I'm sitting, like, there's a different background behind me because I move around a lot. So I just didn't want people being distracted by me moving around, but I'm actually sitting on my doorstep outside in Shelburne, Nova Scotia. But during the hurricane a year ago, here, a tree came down, knocked my clothesline down, and then knocked a pole of my porch down, basically making my entrance to my house impassable. And I was speaking to the landowner about this, and they were taking their time fixing it, and it was very inconvenient. But one day I just actually came out here, I put on music, and I dressed up in this completely wild outfit with boxing gloves on and everything. And I did this wild, crazy dance with the intention of, like, I was getting out my frustrations. But what was interesting is immediately a truck pulled up, and it was somebody from the town of Shelburne coming to check out, like, where this tree had fallen. And there's also a well there, but they were coming to check it out. And I was, like, partly embarrassed, but also, like, very, very intrigued that there was this immediate attention. And then on top of that, the landowner, the property owner, she pulled up in her car. And I swear it was energy. It was all about energy. And I had one heck of a lot of fun doing that dance. And actually, I've done a video of it, and I put it up, and, like, friends of mine, their kids love it. They just think it's the craziest thing. But honestly, the next week, this porch was built, and she got a guy on it right away. It was done in like 3 or 4 days. And so that's just a funny story, came to me from where I'm sitting right now. And I just say, if people have a problem, let it be their problem. I mean, yeah, you can hear them in their problem with your passion, but wow, what a beautiful thing to create space for this expression. And I remember specifically, Kathleen, with you, that I think it was Justin came on almost immediately after and offered a beautiful blessing and acknowledgement. And that was just so beautiful too, like, to hear a man do this. Like, it's going to make me cry almost, because I just find where I'm living here, I do find a lot of men here are so afraid of women's passion. It's so lovely to have men that hold space for it and encourage it and bless it. So thank you. That's all.
Thank you.
That was
Wow.
amazing.
That was an amazing
Amazing.
share. I was like watching you dance with boxing gloves in my head, and it was like so entertaining. If I can just speak briefly to passion as well, and that's one of the things I also thank you for acknowledging the men in this community. And no, she's got a beautiful husband, and I do too. And it's really incredible, because what I think we're really healing so much of is this adapted male energy, which is angry, and the opposite of that is passionate. And so when a lot of us women now are really getting awoke in terms of our passion and our expression and our capacity. And so we're healing our masculine energy in many ways. And all of the men that sit with us in these calls are also doing that at really high levels. But that's what we're modeling. That's what we're going to keep saying. No, this is okay. This is natural. This is normal. Passion is healthy. Passion is healthy, authentic, masculine energy that's creative and productive. And the opposite of that is angry, lazy, mean, all of that stuff that none of us like anymore. And that's what we're clearing in such a big way in this family. So I'm so glad you tapped that and you called it exactly as it is, because this passion is something that we need to continue to nurture in us. And that feminine energy is that one that listens, that can hear. Like, here, and then pass it to the masculine who like gets out there and then does it. And that's that safe family for then the child to be creative and curious and playful. And so many of us have our inner families, you know, a little wacky, given, you know, our whole life's experiences. But I just wanted to make that, and we have a whole, like a whole workshop that I love to do on this topic. And I'd love to do that with you guys at some point too. And I'll make an announcement at the end, but thank you for that. And thank you, Justin, for continuing, because and Patrick and Aaron and Matt, I see you here, because this is the healing of our energies that we really, really need to focus on right now. And we're doing it. And Alan, our cherry on top.
It's so cool with like how everything's connected too, because Alan, you know, you guys were on the same Facebook group, the Dr. Morse, but I was on that. And, you know, I'm sure there's other Facebook, you know, Dr. Morse groups or whatever, of course. And like, I remember seeing your stuff, Alan, and I had told Marie, because there was somebody that posted something about her sister having something going on. And I was like, Marie, I'm going to add you to this thing. And then here she finds Alan, and here's Alan all the time. Like, how amazing. Like, I kind of want to hear from you. I want to say hi. Unless you don't want to.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, it's amazing how that works, how we get connected like that. And she was talking about she opened Facebook one day and saw my picture of me when I posted about reaching my 365th day on just fruits. And so I'm just like so excited. I'm trying to share with everybody, and I'm glad she found me. I'm glad you guys.
I saw the same thing. Yeah, saw the same thing. That's amazing. Like, wow, that's amazing. What an inspiration you are for all of your hard work. Like Dr. Morse, I mean, he's incredible.
Yeah,
He's incredible.
They turned me on to Dr. Morse now. Danny's obsessed. I wake up, Dr. Morse is already juicing downstairs.
Sometimes
Dr.
I
Morse
fall
is here
asleep
this
to
morning.
Dr.
Good morning.
Morse's video. He's just talking in the background.
Oh,
about
yeah.
Your lymphatic system, your kidneys. You got to
I find
plug
his
your
voice-
kidneys.
Yeah. I find his voice so comforting though. I don't know, like the way he talks, like it's so comforting, and it's like he just speaks from the truth. Like I was talking to Danny about that last night. It's like you just hear him talking, and it's like you know it's coming from where it's supposed to come from. Like it's the truth. Like that's the beautiful thing about awakening to all of this, and you know me feeling so blessed that we're awake. And that's what I was saying to her. It's like it makes you feels like it gives you so much, and you can decipher the truth between the lies, you know. So when you hear people speak, like you can, it's all coming from that same energy. Like it's just amazing.
Yeah, his voice is like ASMR. Even John Rose. I just sometimes play his video too in the background. He's like, what's the real diet humans be eating? You know, and it's a solid food vacation. Get that serpent out of you. Yeah, I fall asleep sometimes to listening to their videos.
That's amazing. Yeah, he's amazing. I can't tell you how many times I fell asleep to Dr. Morse or Charlie Freak, like, you know, just trying to get more information, just like.
Right.
Well, and it's comforting too. These are our brothers. These guys are pioneers. They're trailblazers, and like they are not messing around, and they don't think twice about any of it. They never question. I'm still growing, so I still have my moments, but yeah, like that's where I'm going. That's who I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah. Yes.
You know?
Yes.
When I'm like fully like, and I'm getting there sooner than later. You'll see, guys. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, who do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be invincible. I don't want to be like, you know, still dealing with this stuff and being sad because somebody, you know, doesn't like my passion, or someone says I should say something in a different way. Like, what? Like, how did we get that silly? That's silliness. That's kids' games. We're grown-ups now. So yeah, Dr. Morse, we're grown-ups.
We're grown. We're grown.
Actually, I just told her son this morning that I'm actually a kid in a grown-up body, so that he can trust me with things, because like I get it, and I want him to be happy and like have fun times. And so like whatever he needs, you know, doesn't have to be like, oh, she's a grown-up. You know, I'm not that kind of grown-up.
Well, and let me tell you how amazing it is to be in a community that thinks, obviously we're not identical, but we're on the same trust and the same energy, like my 5-year-old is just like losing it. And I'm like, I can't, like nothing I say, whether it's love or anger or anything that can even switch it. So I'm like, Marie, can you go and have a talk with him and let him know like what rules are in your house or whatever? Like, and I know like I can trust her as a mom to not say something fucked up that's like, know that I don't want him to know that, or I don't want him to think that that's like a whatever, but when you're that, like to have that community from another mother, it's just like huge. And thank you for that too. Like, it's so good to be able to have, or like how you say, I have to worry about sending your kids somewhere and they're going to like eat chicken wings because, it's like, I don't know. So the community is so powerful, you guys. It's amazing.
That's that true balance, is having that Trinity reside within you, to have the wisdom of the Father, the nurturing cultivation of the mother, and then that playfulness and that creative essence of the child. And so if you can find that perfect balance, and that's what going on this journey is all about, is creating that space to where those three can thrive in perfect harmony. And that's what we're here to do. That's all we got to do.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And it's beautiful to see the children doing it. And that's why I've been saying, often and at times even regretfully, because it had repercussions, but just that we are the people, we the people, but these are the peeps I want to be raising the children with. And it's such a privilege to be with children. I mean, it's a real privilege. And like Claudia does Monday mornings, I don't think she's going to be here too much longer, but she came this morning at Monday, it's Monday at 10, and she was here with bells and whistles on, ready to do what the kids wanted to do. And so they went to the little scooter park, and then they came back into the pool, and now they're having cocos and mangoes for lunch. And, it's like, it's happening, and it's really sweet. It's really, really sweet. And thank you guys for holding the space, even though you're not here in person, like you're a part of this day, because they just tried to get in a couple times. I don't know if you heard that, but let me in. Anyway, who else? So simple. Child, mama, papa. Yeah, that's right.
I'll just have a little quick share. Had lovely connections happen this week, which is awesome. Somebody from one of Justin's Telegram chat group, and and Julia from Charlie's Friday night. We are getting together in Spain on Friday. We're going to hang out together for the weekend, and I can't wait to talk to some normal people. It's going to be really lovely. I'm really excited. And I'm late today because the one and only person I can speak to here just called in out of the blue, and we got into a flat earth discussion. He's never heard of any of you guys, Santosh, nada. But his knowledge on flat earth, he just knows everything, and he just knows it. So this is my one person I have to talk to here, and he just happened to call, and I didn't have the heart to say, I've got a live, and you have to go. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know that we've made a connection. So we've got one coming from Madrid, and then I'm going over to Spain. Borders opened on Saturday, and I can't wait to get out of Portugal. Just for a weekend would be so nice.
So happy for you guys. It was awesome. Way to go, Penny.
Think about all that energy that's happening, you guys. Like all of it, just every time we connect with the like-minded and that energy that we feel, and I feel, activated right now by that. It's like, you guys, that's sending to all of us. Like Marie was saying, we're all connected, right? We're all in this together. We're all through the same portal right now. So you guys, every time we connect with somebody else, it's a help. It's benefiting our whole entire circle.
The circle grows every time. It just grows bigger and bigger.
Yeah. So sweet. Thank you, Penny. And Kira's in the chat. I just want to say, Kira, absolutely, I want to be like you when I grow up. I just saw that comment.
Oh, me too.
I want to be like Kira when I grow up. I want to be like all of you when I grow up. I want to be an integration of all of this gnosis. So there's actually no more, no more me, but there's just us, and I love that.
One. We're all one.
Penny?
Yeah.
Penny, where are you in Portugal?
I'm in the Algarve, just close to the border of Spain.
Oh, okay. Because my son lives in Porto.
Oh, opposite end. Yeah.
No.
Barbara, do you want to share anything with us, love?
Yes. Tomorrow is my first day of work, so it's a little bit late here already. And well, this weekend was not good for me because I was with my family. But yeah, today was a great day. I met with a friend, and we went hiking, and it was just, yeah, everything was gone. You know, it's like you go up in the mountains and you breathe the air and the trees, and it's like you hug the trees, and everything was gone. I said to my friend, okay, I'm clean now. I go up and up and up and up, and I'm clean. So because my family at the party, I just don't fit in there anymore. And it's like they were sitting around. My brother-in-law had his birthday, and his friends are like, oh, one is a doctor and one is a nurse, and they were all talking about the vaccine. And I was sitting there, I was like, okay, just be quiet. Just be quiet. I don't want to interfere anymore. You know, I just don't want to talk about this anymore. And they were joking about this, and oh, so fun, and this and that. I got it already, and never mind. I just can't do this anymore. And my daughter is sitting there and she's enjoying it. Oh, it's so great. Oh, I thought they all changed, but it's not them, it's me. I changed. It's,
And it comes to
so
that, like,
it's
yeah, and it comes to like, I'll feel that way sometimes, and it's like you literally are like, I don't belong here. Like, I don't belong in this conversation. Like, I feel that way when I'm like back home in the matrix of things, and I'm just like, I just don't belong here. Like, what kind of a place for this conversation?
no.
Yeah, that's the worst.
You feel you don't belong here anymore. And well, I was glad when I came home. But I used to enjoy this. I don't understand. You know, years ago I used to enjoy this, and I was laughing, and now it's nothing. It's just some people that are my family. You are more my
Barbara,
family.
I hear you so much, Barbara. I used to feel that way too. And I think all of us, you know, that comfort of family, like the familiarity of it, like the same conversations, you know, why can't I just go with the flow here? Why can't I just fit into this? And Danny and I had a long drive back last night. We talked about how the truth shall set us free, but only if we allow it to. Did you guys get that? Like, my connection kind of came out like that. That really resonated with me yesterday. Like, it just kind of came out. And I was like, oh, that's exactly it. Because it's our attachments to the past, our attachments to what used to be, or attachments to what we think it should look like, that don't allow that level of freedom. And, you know, I said something yesterday to a family member that I knew hurt them. I didn't mean to, but it was like, hey, do you want to talk to so-and-so? And I'm like, not really. I didn't think about it. I didn't take any thought. I didn't think, oh, well, I should, you know, and I didn't go there in the old thought forms that used to drive my behaviors. I just embraced where I was and kind of let the chips fall where they fall. It's not hurtful. It's not intentional. And I think that that's what we're learning how to really strengthen in ourselves. I don't know if that's helpful for you, Barbara, but when I saw your message come in, I was like, look, this is about me just accepting the fact that this is what I've embraced to be as the truth. I don't mean to hurt anybody, but it's requiring that I make changes in my life, my relationships change. It's requiring me to allow other people to have their own thoughts and feelings. Like, they're totally allowed. They're totally allowed. And I'm totally allowed to have my own thoughts and feelings. And if they're not meshing and I'm aware of that, then I get to be the one to make those changes. And that's what we're talking about earlier in this conversation. Like, sometimes that's the hard work.
Yeah, so since I don't fit in anymore, I'm alone and I can go anywhere, I say. But then I think, like you all said, God put you, Justin said, God put you in a place, and we are like the lighthouse, you know, and I think I'm on the right space right now, but in the future I will go someplace else. I don't fit in here anymore. The people are so tight.
Yeah.
In their mind. Yeah.
Well, and just to touch on that, you know, we talked about this in the book of Matthew studies, and that's why there's so many passages written about leaving behind our family, leaving behind where who we are born with, because ultimately they're going to act as a limit, and so that's why the Bible encourages us to get out of that environment as quickly as possible, because we have to go on this journey alone. And we have to start it alone, and then ultimately, once we've completed it, then we become more magnetic and we attract those who are on that same path, and we start to cultivate and build the community. But you're exactly where you need to be, and you're doing really well. So just embrace this now moment, and always be, you know, just, yeah, I know it's hard. I know it's really tough. Like, there's nothing that's easy about it, but you're being forged. You're being forged in the fires because God knows how powerful you are. God knows your potential and what you're meant for. So just embrace these little things and lean into them. Lean into these challenges and know that each and every one of them is God giving you another opportunity to grow and to grow stronger and to be more firm in your faith and with who you are. So you're doing really well. I really commend you for your strength. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, Justin. I love you all.
I love you too.
So I was walking one year. I was walking alone, and now I started walking with a friend. So I have one friend I can talk to, and I started walking with her. So this is a good thing. And like you said, magnetic. So it starts. It starts. The people are coming. Thank you. Thank you. So I hope it's okay. I'm listening, still listening a bit, but I go off here. Okay. All right.
Have a great night. Love you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Oh my gosh, that was so beautiful. I love all of this, and I'm so thankful to have space, your guys' space and time and all of that. And thank you, Marie. But yeah, stay strong. You guys are all beautiful, and try to, you know, just don't ever forget that we're all around. Even if we're in a box, we're all around. But I'm gonna go and relieve my husband of the kids, and he's gonna pop up here and talk some more. So bye. Love you all.
Right? We're having so much fun. So good. Someone asked in the chat real quick before I pass it on, how did you get to Mexico? And it kind of goes with Barbara's, Stacy. You know, it just got to be where I just couldn't be there anymore. And that's what happened. So we made a move. We just made the move that we needed to move. We kept following directions, even when it didn't make sense. And I think that sometimes that sometimes is how God is using us. You know, wow, she just like up and left. She just sold her house. She just sold all her belongings. She just took her kids out of school. She just like left. And that's sometimes what we do. We might do it again. You know, we just keep going with this flow and going where the wind blows. But yeah, I left because I just couldn't. Yeah, they were trying to do cancer stuff to me too. I had to go. I remember the surgeon was so mad. I was like, I'm leaving. I'm not doing that. Thank you. Goodbye. People were like, she's crazy. And, you know, it was so hard. It's similar to what's happening now, you know, and with a lot of us that, like, you know, people that really care about you and love you are like, I really think you should reconsider this decision. You know, it's like, but that's your fear. That's not my fear. I'm not afraid. I'm doing great. I'm having so much fun. Like, it's going to be fine. I finally figured out what was wrong. Like, you didn't tell me, and I shouldn't depend on you to. It's really this incredible life, you guys. Wow, such an incredible life. I'm excited
It is so hard to stand up to doctors.
Oh
They
yeah.
have such ego. It's unbelievable. When I was first diagnosed with MS, they did an MRI of my brain, and I have lesions on my brain. He said they didn't excite him. I'm like, gee, I'm sorry they're not tap dancing for you, but what does that mean? Yeah, so that was that's my little start to, not playing that game.
So the campground that I came from earlier today was a campground that we ministered at. We left there in 2012, and it's a Nazarene Christian campground, and there's a lot of backstory to it, but there's 72 pastors on the Eastern Michigan district. So here I am going to this campground, knowing what I know, and I just want to vomit truth all over them. And I know that I can't do that. I just have to let it go and just have to be the light. I mean, I don't plan on spending a lot of time there this summer, because I just know that I'm tenacious for truth, and God will work through me the way that he wants to work through me in that area. But it's really, once your eyes are open and like I was there 2 days ago, and they're on their grills cooking their hamburgers, and I was just like, oh, I want to tell the truth about the food and the toxicity. And I was listening to Free Melon Society today. Eli is amazing. And I was listening to him today, and I was just like, oh my goodness gracious. And he was doing an interview with someone, and I'm sorry, I forgot his name, but he was talking all about the exercise industry and the protein and all of that. And I was just, and that's right where my daughters are at, and it's like, just listen to these videos, girls, just open your eyes to this truth. And it's just so, I don't know. I feel so different that I connected with Laura, and that I'm sharing the space with everyone. And I know these communities are growing, and I know it's like things happen for a reason. And I feel as though we're the pioneer community growers, I think we're going to wear a lot of different shoes and a lot of different hats. And it's just it's so amazing. It's just so amazing. I feel so different. Now I understand what Marie goes through, and how she has all of these revelations, and these things happen to her, and then she just grows and grows and grows. And I feel as though I was holding on to just a portion of me was not letting go, but something happens to you, and then all of a sudden you grasp it, and then it just changes. Your light just gets brighter and brighter, and it just helps you grow to the next level. And it's amazing. It's just so amazing. So I love you all. I just got done eating my oranges. I'm going to hop off here. I'm going to head on back to Howell, and I'm going to listen to you on the YouTube channel. And you all have a great week, and looking forward to it. Just looking forward to everything. So bye.
We love you so much.
Thank you.
It's the willingness. It's the willingness. We were all willing. That's it. We were all willing. And we did. We were willing to see things differently. And then we did. Thank you, Peggy. You're a superstar. I love you. I can't wait to come to Michigan. I miss the Midwest. I haven't been there in 2 years now. I'm kind of itching to go back, but at the same time, I'm very cautious too. But if I'm going to, family and safe space, then we see. Who else? Hi, Peggy. Sabina, jump in, honey. Sabina, Dave, Aaron.
Hello.
Okay, Dave. How about Sabina, ladies first, Dave, then Aaron? How about that?
Okay, thank you, Dave. Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm happy to be here as always. Thank you, Marie, for hosting this. And I want to thank everyone for your beautiful shares. And actually, every single one resonated with me deeply, especially this idea of not belonging and letting go. And this has actually been very deeply ingrained in my story. I left when I was 19. I left my family, went to the other side of the world. And everywhere I went, at first I felt I'm belonging, and then suddenly I felt I'm not belonging anymore. So I kept moving, and it's been, I actually moved the past 6 years, kind of crazy. So I've always been the vagabond on the search for something bigger, something more beautiful, something fuller. And 4 years ago, I actually moved into the forest, and now I live in this beautiful piece of land with water and forest and flower meadows. And actually there for the first time, I felt really, I'm belonging here, and just feeling the resonance with Mother Nature. And actually there I found the most deepest healing for many emotional issues and just stories I've been carrying with myself. I was actually fully able to let go in Mother Nature. And 4 years ago, I released a lot of pain that I had, actually just by spending my nights in the forest. And now actually this is the place where I really find joy every day. I tune into Mother Nature, and I get the simple practices like gazing at the sky. Or yesterday I went to collect flowers, and there are all these beautiful wild flowers coming up in all different colors. And I was actually observing those flowers, and they're actually all different, even from far away. They look like the same. And suddenly you see all these, really observing the flowers, and they're all unique in their unique beauty. And then I kept reading this quote, and it was quite amazing. It was so potent. And I'm paraphrasing here. Like, a flower does not compare herself to another flower. A flower is simply here to bloom because it's her nature. And this really struck me, because that's really who we are. We're all flowers, and we're here to bloom and to shine in our unique colors, with our unique scents, with our unique shapes. And we all have this unique beauty. And this is really the metaphor that's so potent for this time right now, and really being aware of that. So just my morning walk was so amazing. And every day I do sun gazing. In the morning, I see the sunrise on one side of the house, and at night I see it on the other side of the house. So it's just such a beautiful gift. And so simple practices like this really helped me to really anchor into my true self. And many years ago, I met this amazing shaman. He actually told me, when I experience emotional pain, don't call anyone, don't talk about it, you sit with it and you feel it. So whenever I was going through a lot of heart pain, and 4 years ago, so I was going out at night, I was going outside when I felt the heart pain, and I was just sitting with my pain at 2, 3 in the morning, sometimes in the winter. And I would sit there and really feel the pain. And also the shaman told me to not just to feel it, also express it and transmute the pain. So I was going out at night and crying out my pain, screaming out my pain, shaking out my pain, whatever I can do to take this pain out. And then he asked me, when I feel the release, to celebrate a transmutation. And sometimes I was out there for like 1-2 hours and taking out my pain. But then at some point the joy would come, and I would just dance and celebrate and sing and really celebrate the joy that I transmuted the pain into joy. And then eventually I got to inner peace. So this was a work I did in 2017 for 9 months. And that's how I actually transmuted the heartbreak of a lost relationship, and really was able to let go of all the pain that was attached to it. But it was really without calling people, without talking about it, just simply work at basically transforming the pain. And that all happened in Mother Nature. So Mother Nature is the most potent medicine. So this is an invitation for you. If you feel any pain, go and feel it and let it sit, and let yourself go. Let nature take you through whatever needs to be transformed.
That was so beautiful. And, so beautiful. I just love that, because I think so many people, we've talked about this, we bypass the pain, we don't want to deal, or we dumb it down or whatever. But it reminded me of this prayer from the Essene Book of Peace, And I'd like to read it real quick if that was okay. It says,
Yeah.
after this manner, pray to your earthly mother. Our mother, which art upon earth, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in us as it is in thee. And thou sendest every day thy angels, send them to us also. Forgive us our sins as we atone all our sins against thee. And lead us not into sickness, but deliver us from all evil. For thine is the earth, the body, and the health. Amen. I thought that was so sweet because we hear the Lord's Prayer that, our Father who art in heaven, but not to the mother often. This was the first time I read it. I was like, wow. And just we were, again, talking about, geez, she's majestic and she's healing and she's purifying and she is the mother. A lot of us go to our earthly mothers and they could get us as far as they could, but to go to the mother is the healing juice, right? Beautiful, Sabina. Beautiful. Dave, if you're around and you want to pop in, you're welcome to. I know you said you were a little busy at work, but it is yours. Sabina, when you come down here, you can lead some workshops like that. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like everybody can go outside and go, oh, toning, just like, let's go for it. All right. Dave the man in the house.
If I could unmute.
There we go.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
It's been crazy every time. I was just about ready to finish. Sabina was just finishing up and boss comes out, starts asking me all these questions like, you know what? I got to talk. I don't need to talk to you. Barbara really hit some nerves with me. I mean, I don't have anybody to talk to. Most people are either asleep or completely on the other side. And the one that really hurt me bad, it was, matter of fact, it was just last night. My friend that I've had since I was 12 years old, we palled around and we just kept in touch all these years. He lives in Oregon. I'm still in New York. And he keeps busting me, particularly on Thursday. What's the Thursday CT? Conspiracy theory, and anything that I've told him in the past, he just tears me to shreds with. So I just stopped talking to him. Well, last night he started in on me, and it's like I said, your pattern your entire life has been find something to dig somebody with and just not let go, and to display superiority, but in fact it's a insecurity. And he didn't like that, and he started the text message started flowing about that I'm the way I am because of my family and my father, this and that, because he knew my family. And it's like I had to close him off. And finally I just turned my phone completely off. And I, like what Sabina was talking about, I just sat with it. It's interesting that I've heard this before. I used to be a stuffer. I learned not to stuff things, and pound it around my head all this time. But I like the word process. You sit with it, figure it all out, figure out where the pieces fall in, because at the end of the day, I derive a benefit from that. Something that hurts in the end seems to be right. I don't want to say better, better may not be the right word, but things seem to be right after I go through the other side of something. And the only way to get through something is to go through it. So I don't know when this is going to end or how or what. Well, I do know how. I know if things are going to be okay. But the loneliness is crazy. And I think I'm doing it right now, as a matter of fact. I've shared before. I've been in AA for 26 years. I share all the time. I help people. People tell me, oh, I really love what you say. But being alone for so long, well, just with my cats, my thoughts are so garbled and so all over the place. And when I start talking, I can't stay focused and flowing from one thing to another. It's just, I don't know if it makes any sense or not. And my first inclination with that is to worry about it. But then almost immediately after, it's like, no, because of where I am right now with you people. I mean, I'm not alone. I'm here for a reason, doing what I'm doing for a reason. And I can't feel bad about myself or second guess myself, and I don't. You know, the vaccine talk and all this other stuff, you know, I get the emails at work all the time of locations you can go and stuff. And it's like, I'm not getting that. But I got family members and friends and stuff like that lining up for it and posting on Facebook and all that other stuff. And it's like, oh my goodness, you know, I just pray for them. And, but I can't talk to them about it. And that's, you know, I've had to shed a lot of people, like other people have shared, you know, just let them go and distance myself from people that, you know, like my friend in Oregon, you know, text messages and phone calls regularly, but I've really had to keep it basic to talking about yard work and pets. And that's about all I can talk to them about. So, it'll get better. And coming here on Monday certainly kind of refocuses me and recenters me, even though I seem to get busy as soon as I log on. I try to put it around the time where I have time, but it never seems to work out that way. That's okay. I like the saying, I'm here because I'm not all there. So that's all I got. Thanks, everybody.
Well, I think that resonates with a lot of us, Dave. Here, because I'm not all there. And that's the truth. We're not all there. We're not all there anymore. We're not subscribed to the same channels. We're not subscribed to the same systems. And we're learning more and more how to pull out. And it's a lonely journey. It can feel really lonely. I just want to thank you for your vulnerability there. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure if there's anyone else who has a message for Dave coming through, I'm just glad you're here. And I think that that's what my intention is with these shows, is just like, let's just show up for each other and hold a space for each other. And yeah, because it's tricky stuff, man. It's maneuvering through relationships is hard. Like I said though in the beginning, the love was real. The love was real. And then once things started to get funky, it's the funky stuff. I mean, like this is biblical, right? This is huge. This is huge what's happening. I think like we just got to get real bird's eye view of it all. All right, I'm not going to talk for a little while to those cats over there. Every time I say something, they get all bent out of shape and they start getting their face all funny. So just, you know, all right. Sorry about that. Namaste. I love you so much. It's going to be okay. And just give them a little break and just move on to the people that want to hang with you right now. And thank goodness there's a lot of us and there's a lot of shows every day. So like, you know, there's a lot of stuff and we're all here. And Danny wants to say hi to you too, Dave. And,
yeah. Dave, I was going to just chime in here and say that, you know, I think the tough part is that, you know, the world that most people live in right now is an illusion. And that's what people need to understand, is that the illusion is everywhere. And I mean, it's especially it's on social media. And we see our friends who really dive into the social media aspect really fall victim to that illusion. And that when you're living in the realistic world, which is the consciousness, the present, the being, you know, the illusion doesn't exist. And, you know, I've had to even tell, you know, friends and family that I just choose not to live in the illusion. And that's the key, is understanding that the world we've been brought into has just been an external projection of an illusion that they wanted us to feed into. And now that we're breaking free is why, you know, we feel so energetic, but also feel this pull in this negative direction from the people around us. And that it's we chose to be here. I mean, we decided to come here when we were birthed, and that's the crazy part is we don't remember. And I listened to somebody tell a story about a little girl. I think she was 4 or 5, and she was talking to a little baby in a crib, and the mother had asked the daughter to leave, and when she left, she said, I wanna, Mom, can I go back into the room and talk to the baby? And she went back into the room, and the baby was in the crib, and she said, tell me more about where I've been, or where I've come from. And that, the child, the infant was still so connected to where she had just come from being birthed, that we lose the actual reality of that we have chosen to come here, that we are all part of the same creation, and that we're going to go back to it. And we've now chosen to step back into that realm of wanting to go back to where we just came from, which is amazing, and going to, what we have coming. But we're also choosing to make our life here on earth the best we can make it, and that not buying into that illusion is the best thing you can do. And although it might be one of the hardest things to do, it's what the heart needs, it's what the body needs, and you can't argue with that. Because if you go the other direction, all it ends up leading to is death. And choosing to live life to the fullest really, really comes with everything that you do mentally, physically, and spiritually. You have to connect all 3 of those, and people just aren't in tune with that, and that's why people choose to go the wrong path. And Dave, that's something that I think being alone is actually going to make you find yourself even quicker, because that's really what it starts with. Thinking that someone can boost you to where you need to be, you really have to be by yourself. And that's, even though this might seem hard, when you come out, you're gonna find an amazing thing.
See our friends, see our family. Aaron, you want to bust in? These guys are amazing. First time I saw him, I was like, oh my God, look at you. You look like Josh X. You're the same lineage. He goes off. I want to do a show with you on the virus as a detox symptom. He has this whole riff that we're going to do really soon. I think maybe in the next couple of weeks, because this guy is like, he's another Freakopedia. He's got a lot of stuff for us. It'll be fun to crack in. Aaron, if you're around, you can chime in. Danny, do you want to sit here?
Yeah, Danny, you say it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that all you got?
Yeah, you guys finish.
Yeah. Okay.
I can talk more, but I don't know.
I'm like, I'm ready to go. I can go ahead. You guys can finish the show. But I love you all. Aaron, if you're around, chime in. No? Anybody else want to chime in before I pass it to?
I'll chime in. It's Sarah here again. I just wanted to let everyone know that in Nova Scotia, Canada, things have actually totally tightened up here. I heard Penny talking about traveling to Spain, and things have opened up for her in Portugal. But anyways, this last Wednesday, things got really crazy here. Like you'd say, I think might be another Maritimer on the call here. I think Shelley's still there. I think she's up in New Brunswick. But anyway, right now, what's happening in Eastern Canada, like Atlantic Canada has been this place where there's been so few cases and everything. And people here have been going on, oh, we're so lucky, we're so lucky, we're so lucky. And then anyways, what's going on lately now is that they're basically not allowing us out of our county. And you can get, $2,000 to a 10, or I don't know, crazy fine. And anyways, people are going pretty nuts. And just when the masks seem like they were all going to come off, you go into stores now and there's like signs and they're masking 2-year-olds now. So in a way, I didn't know whether to bring this up or not, because in a way it's maybe good not to talk about this, but I just want to say, I invite other people's feelings and compassion around the situation here. Like for me, this past weekend was such a squeeze. Like I was feeling pretty squeezed, because the collective energy here is, there's a lot of fear. And I feel like a lot of freedom people have kind of gravitated here. Like I'm originally from central Ontario, central Canada, like Ontario, and a lot of people have gravitated here because of the freedom and because of the nature, because of, yeah, you can live so close to nature here. The nature deities are so alive and well. And the people here have quite a level of innocence and naivete that is beautiful, but it also means, tied into that is that extremely trust, which are, I see, incredibly corrupt and full of liars. And anyway, I don't know if I need to say anything more than that, but wow, when I see people like Siobhan going over to Ireland and these things, like I've been aching to go and visit my homeland, Ontario, and like they're putting up like between the provinces, and this is totally a Canadian Constitution. And anyway, I just invite some loving energy to come this way, and this I consider very vulnerable part of Canada right now. So thank you.
Thank you for that, Sarah. And I think let's just take a moment, all of us. Let's just do this right now. Let's just do this. Let's just take a minute. Let's close our eyes. You want to put one hand on your heart, one on your belly. You're welcome to. Let us call in the strength of the Father and the nourishment of the Mother. For all of the children of God everywhere. And for the ones in Canada, let them feel the freedom from within and have faith that all is moving in a healthy direction. Let them have the patience and the perseverance to stay in the light and the truth. Sending each and every one, anyone suffering anywhere in this present moment, all of the love, all of the grace, all of the kindness, and all of the freedom that is our inheritance. Take 3 deep breaths together. Love, namaste. Let's all commit to doing that every day, okay, guys? Just send our brothers and sisters everywhere all of our love and all of our energy, all of the sunshine. Let us acknowledge all of our blessings. There are many. In spite of this, we're going to get through this. And for whatever reason, Canadians are being, you've got this, Sarah. I mean, you're a powerhouse. God bless you, sister. We're with you, all of you. Karen, Danny, Patrick, anybody, Shelley?
I'll chime in.
Muted myself there.
Thanks for sharing, Sarah. That was really a reminder of, yeah, just where we're at, and a beautiful opportunity to again unite energy into that direction and sending it forward. But I just have a question for the Canadian audience. Like, does the police have any jurisdiction in the First Nations reservations? That's just an open-ended question, because I know that there was some problems when they legalized cannabis, and there was a lot of people who were using that to make business in the reservations, but the police couldn't get access. So it makes me wonder if it can really get in there. I'm just saying that from the point of view that maybe people think that they have to believe everything that's being told to them, where actually it's about making a sort of a local stand to maybe at like county level and going, well, what's going on here? What are people approve or not? But again, it's easier said than done at times. And right now, this was the perfect thing to do. And I also felt it myself and really appreciate it. But as for feeling for our brothers and sisters, that goes for all of them. Even those who are telling us that we are adhering to white supremacist values, we're being radicalized. And I had an opportunity to chat to another loving human being from that space of the heart. We knew that we energetically were just falling apart. And I expressed that, saying that you're right about everything that you said, but it's just not working for me. It's not working for me, for my family, and you know it. And I'm not going to excuse it. I'm not going to you can call me white supremacist, but I'm just not going to defend it. It's over that side, but I just really feel the love for you, and just holding heart and compassion for everybody else. I know there's a lot of you have got split families because of let's say the pandemic is the forefront of it, but everything else obviously then splits from there. And I'm again at a family level, my heart goes out to you too, and it's really tough. Families, parents, kids, friends, partners. But it's what do I want to be? Do I want to be right, or do I want to be at peace? And I just hold myself as following God's will, and it goes against my will many times. It goes against my will many times, but it kind of comes round and really reroutes me and goes there, and I go, wow, you're powerful. You're really powerful. And when I ride that way, I really feel like, okay, I'm going somewhere unknown, but it's taking me there. So I just want to give it up to all of you who have that going on. I think it's pretty much every one of us, and just staying the love zone for them. We can be mad at them. We can have arguments or discussion, but it's the same. I remember when Donald Trump got elected in 2016, I was on the other camp back then, and I've said to myself, I could never ever put hate to one person like it seems that it wants us to be done towards this guy, and he's the president of the United States now, whether I like it or not. So okay, I'm just going to send you all my love. That's all I'm going to do, as human to human, energy to energy, because you hold such importance. And I have to live at peace. I can't live with that hate in my body. It destroys me. And just saying that it kind of works for me. And if you're in that place, then maybe just let go, and this infusion of spirit take you in and support you in your heart. And I feel that this happens in this conversation too. My companions and my, thank you very much for allowing me to share.
I love you. Anybody else want to chime in? I know we're coming to the close. Shelley, did you want to chime in? I know you've been camera on and off. Shelley, Aaron, Patrick, finish up here soon.
Yes, I will chime in. I've had a week where I've encountered a lot of love in different ways, and it's fun to experience when you rise and get more connected to the mother. She gets back at you in a loving way. And today I had had an online meeting. I have a weekly gathering with some people according to the Lynn McTaggart framework. And it's a place where we just hold space for each other's intentions. And that's been going on from, I think, January. And today, 3 beautiful women with real kind hearts said, well, we want to hold the intention for you this time. And I was a bit overwhelmed, but it was so wonderful, because I've been in a space where I was accustomed to holding space for others, and now I was in the receiving spot. And the intention which was held was that I want to be connected more and more to my soul and my purpose. And once every month there is an exercise where all the alarms go off in all over Holland. So they are testing the system in that moment. And during the meditation, all the alarms went off. So it was funny. So it felt like, well, the moment I'm living my true purpose, all the alarms go off. So you better be aware. And on all the discussions on the vaccines and all the back and forth that's going on, I shared a post of a demonstration, a march we held in a place in Holland, and it was such a lovely energy with thousands of people. And there was a moment where the police were trying to, it's a kind of game where there is a group of people within the police force who are trying to enforce violence so they can dismantle the group and the energy. And there was one group of men who in the moment stood up and pulled back, and all the police were forced back into their vans. And after that, it went really quick. The march went on, and we went back to the square we came from. So when we are talking about the balance between masculine and feminine energy, it was really good to see that within the love and the peace and the shared humanity in the march, when there was a moment of violence, it just was attacked with like a kind of fierce anger, like setting a boundary. And that was in a kind of harsh way, but I think we can set boundaries in a loving way as well. And there was a discussion when I posted that video, a lot of, well, the crap that people are putting online when they are seeing stuff like that, and it's coming from both sides. And I'm just sheer amazed on, there's no filter. People are just blurring everything they just want to put online without thinking. And there was one guy who was saying, well, it's easy for you to do that kind of march until the moment you get corona yourself. And all the people just went all over him. And so I took it back to humanity and said, well, what do you mean? And questioned and asked through. And he shared that he had lost his body, which he has had a school comrade, and they were friends for over 15 years. And he had got corona himself. And at that moment, I just shared my empathy for his loss. And at the same time said, well, I feel the place you're coming from. And at the same time, I see another agenda. And that's why I hold that space that I'm going to the march. And at that moment, the energy of all the violence and the attacking over and through, it stopped. And I think that's the loving way where we can stand and be in the lighthouse. We don't have to, I don't know the right word, but we don't have to push anyone who holds another opinion aside as being less or of lesser value. They're still human, and they are going through their own experience. And at the same time, we can hold our space and stand our ground in truth and say, and this is where it stops, where I stand. I don't stand for violence. I don't stand for sickness. I don't stand for all that we have been experiencing in the past. And yeah, with all the stuff that's going on, and somebody said, just knowing that parents are experiencing it with their children in these times as well. I don't have children, but we all came here in this time and place where we are, and it's for a reason. And just the sheer fact that you are here in this space together with this beautiful family is your soul saying, I don't want to go with the old stuff anymore. And we should commend each other and ourselves for doing the work and rising together and going through this journey. And it's not easy, but the fact that we still continue the journey, and every time there's new knowledge coming through Charlie and Marie and Justin, it's a mirror of where we are going and how we are supposed to be. And I just want to commend everybody here in the Zoom and in the chat and in our family for continuing the path. And when you're walking somebody else's path, it's a clear path, but when you're walking your own path, it feels like a jungle, and you have to cut through all the stuff that you're encountering. And so, yeah, really love you all.
Thank you for that. Some heart space. Beautiful, Patrick. So kind. Talk about a kind man. There's a kind man.
I mean, it's really hard to get defensive about the heart energy that's sent out. It's going to melt anybody. It's incredible how it works. And like you mentioned, the fact that the riot police, they got put back into their vans, but they would have come back. But it's clear that that energy is going like, okay, we move on from that. Those men and women, they need a lot of heart because they've got these big shields to go with it. It's hard, man. But I tell you what, it's the rewards are immense. They're really immense. And the lighter we get on the way, it's wow, it's something. It's something.
You guys. Aaron, are you our cherry on top today?
No, I'll just say I love you guys, just kind of holding space for everybody, myself, and it's just amazing how everybody shows up every week and very strong, and we're here and really doing the work. Like everybody's saying and realizing is it all the rewards are built into the work, and the path does get really narrow, and it seems like all these attachments that we've had in our past aren't really what we need to be attached to, and we left him, we left God. So going back to God is getting back to that straight and narrow again. So just awesome seeing everybody doing the work and enjoying the journey, getting closer and closer every day, and just continuing that path. So love you guys.
Love you, Aaron. Thank you. All right, Alan. Give it to us.
I wanted to hop in and talk about what Aaron was saying, what Aaron typed in on our Zoom chat. The first thing on our Zoom chat, Aaron says, laughter is the best medicine. And yeah, also earlier, Sabina mentioned Mother Nature is medicine as well. And I've also heard this saying, music is medicine. I don't know if anybody else heard that too. And this is what I kind of like realized the other day. In Japan, or music in Japanese is ongaku. And this is the symbol for, this is how you write ongaku or music in kanji. This symbol is a symbol of sound, on. And this symbol is a symbol, is gaku, which is a symbol of good feeling, easygoing, or enjoyable. And then what I figured out, or what I realized the other day, is that this symbol is a symbol of medicine, right? This is a symbol of medicine in Japanese kanji, and it looks just like the symbol of medicine.
Wow.
Right? And I was just like, whoa, maybe the Japanese knew about this all along. And then what Sabina mentioned about nature being medicine, I also, I don't remember the name of the philosopher who was talking about food as medicine as well. Let's see, where is that? This is the symbol of tree, and tree is nature. And you see that tree symbol on the kanji symbols for music and medicine. So I was like, oh, maybe the Japanese also knew that kind of, yeah, that connection between medicine and nature, and medicine coming from trees. So that kind of blew my mind. And yeah, Marie also mentioned like, hey, when on this diet we start to feel more, and we start to I feel a lot more energy coming from the surrounding, whether it be from nature, and then or from people, like Charlie or Santos or Dr. Morse. The number one thing that I've noticed the most that I feel now is the energy from the sun. And I noticed, yeah, Justin's always out getting some sun. But yeah, that's one thing I appreciate now is the energy from sun. Back then it's like, oh man, too much sun, I'm gonna get sunburn, skin cancer. But now every time I see the sun, I try to take off my shoes and put my foot on the floor, and I always say thank you. And yeah, today was another great miraculous Monday, and I want to thank you all again, and love you all.
Love you, Alan. Love you, Sammy, Patrick, Kenny, Dave, Sarah, Kathleen, Shelley, Sabina, Aaron, Laura, Matt,
Sarah, everybody in the chat. This felt like super heartfelt today. I feel like we all, and to our beautiful family, Joe and Stephanie, and their children, and just all of the things that are happening, you guys. We're doing great. I love us so much, and I appreciate every single one of you for this consistency that you've shown. You've shown all of us just by, you just keep showing up for this. I mean, I don't know what's going on either. So I'm just, and my yoga teacher used to say, I'm the last to know what's going on. So just going with the flow. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, everybody. Thanks for your third eye opening, third chakra. Fifth chakra, throat chakra. Yeah. Anything else? We love you guys. Put again.
Oh, just a little advertising plug. We're starting a yoga training on Sunday here in Puerto, so it's kind of US based. But we're going to have Zoom with the whole thing, so we're going really technical in that respect. So we have yoga classes, circle like this with tools, and then we break down some poses and another class in the afternoon. And I think it's awesome to, see you come and go if you wish there. And yeah, we'll send more info in the group again. I know there's been some questions, and I'm really stimulated by the response too. It's a new thing for us. We're really going full on this. Previously, it was a fixed price and like this and like that, and just trying this thing out, guys. Yeah, more than anything, it's sharing the energy now.
We're going for it.
We love you so much, guys. It's what we love to do. So yeah, just keep popping in with the questions that come around, and don't be shy. It's all levels are welcome, and it's about breathing. It's really about breathing and taking in the energy, inspiration, taking in spirit.
Namaste, guys. Love you all. Have a beautiful week. Miracles, everyone.